Hello, you're watching Cruise First TV. We're the specialists in cruise sales from all the major cruise lines to all parts of the world. Today we're going to be showing you a selection of offers from one of the world's leading companies, Royal Caribbean International. Now, whether it's conquering rock climbing walls in Australia, ice skating in the middle of the Atlantic, or watching a West End style show off the coast of Canada, you can do it all on a Royal Caribbean cruise, on offer in this show. Now, these ships really are perfect for all ages and tastes, and even make an ideal holiday for the entire family, from mum and dad, the kids and the grandparents. First today is a cruise on a Voyager class ship. Here's what they include.
The adventure of the seas, the explorer of the seas, the mariner of the seas, the navigator of the seas, and the voyager of the seas. From bow to stern, our Voyager class of ships is packed with activities for guests of the nation of Why Not. Each of our amazing Voyager class vessels is home to the Royal Promenade, a unique experience that's at the centre of each ship, featuring shopping, restaurants and pubs. But step outside and prepare to be truly amazed, with more things to do than you ever thought possible on a ship. Play basketball or volleyball on our full-size courts. Climb our rock wall 200 feet above the ocean. And why not ice skate on our onboard rink? Or if you feel like doing nothing at all, soak up the sun in our stunning adults-only glass solarium. Then head to our full-service day spa and let the pampering begin. With a holiday aboard our Voyager class of ships, you'll never be at a loss for a new onboard experience. And you're almost guaranteed to never hear the words, "Are we there yet?" again.
We're offering you a cruise of a lifetime first on this show, because you could be taking a Voyager class cruise around the very best of Australia and New Zealand. The prices coming up include scheduled flights and the option to stay on in a hotel in Sydney or Perth. But where else will you be stopping off during the cruise?
You start your cruise in Sydney, where you head over to New Zealand, arriving at Auckland. Further stops include Tauranga, Christchurch and Dunedin. You then cruise through Dusky Sound, Doubtful Sound and Milford Sound, en route to Tasmania, where you stop at Hobart. It's then back to mainland Australia for a visit to Adelaide, and finally Perth, where your cruise ends. Why not extend your cruise holiday with a stay in Perth? Bathed by an astounding 3,000 hours of sunshine each year, this metropolis offers the excitement of big city living, spoken with an outback accent. If you tire of the many shopping opportunities available prior to setting sail, visit Kings Park, one of the world's largest inner-city parks, where you can marvel at the view of the city skyline or stroll through the colourful botanical gardens.
3 weeks sailing around some of the most picturesque oceans on the planet. Plus, there's an option of a coach tour before the start of your cruise, organised by Cruise First's Australia office. And it's a fantastic way to kick off your holiday. It starts with a night in Sydney, and then you'll join a 3-day coach tour of New South Wales's mountains, wineries and gardens. A Cruise First escort will meet you at the portside with a luxury coach and take you through the Rocks precinct of Sydney, explaining its formation back in 1788. You then head east through Sydney to the shores of Bondi Beach, and then on to the Blue Mountains, where you'll spend the night at the historic Carrington Hotel. Day 2 takes you on a tour of the Blue Mountains' historic sites, including the Three Sisters rock formation and the Zigzag Railway. You then spend a short time in the town of Blackheath before driving alongside the Hawkesbury River en route to the Hunter Valley, where you'll have a night at the Crown Plaza Hotel. Your third and final day of the tour takes in the Hunter Valley Gardens, where 8 kilometres of paths explore a variety of gardens with waterfalls, lakes and hidden treasures at every turn. In the afternoon, you'll visit a selection of the Hunter Valley's best wineries, where you can taste the local tipples and meet the people behind them. Your return to Sydney takes you to the Ibis Hotel in Darling Harbour before you enjoy a gala dinner courtesy of Cruise First. A fantastic way to kick off the trip. Now, if I could, I would. But would you? Maybe the price will convince you. Well, here it is. It's a terrific price for 21 nights. It's a from price and it's per person. Reference RCI 338. It's the best of Australia and New Zealand tour on board the 4-star Voyager of the Seas. It's departing for this particular trip on the 17th of February. What a romantic gesture. It's just after Valentine's Day. Go on, treat somebody. That's next year. It's based on 2 people sharing an inside stateroom. And of course, you can add New South Wales and the Wine Valley Tour for £399 per person. You can also add on a 14-night Perth to Singapore cruise from £799 per person. And of course, you can add nights in Sydney or Perth from £59 per person per night. Basically, we can tailor-make your holiday just for you. Now, that may be the holiday of a lifetime, but it might not be for everyone. If you prefer cruising a little closer to home, then this next Voyager class itinerary is so near that you'll have time to enjoy 3 nights all-inclusive in the Costa del Sol before you even get on board.
You start your cruise in Malaga and depart that evening, arriving at Valencia the next morning. The next day is spent at sea before arriving at Civitavecchia for Rome. It's then on to Livorno for Florence and Pisa, followed by Ajaccio in Corsica. A further day at sea follows before arriving back at Malaga. Civitavecchia is the gateway to all the magnificence of the ancient city of Rome. This city has a lifetime's worth of historical, architectural and spiritual sites. Be sure to visit the Forum where gladiators once fought, and Vatican City, home to St. Peter's Basilica and Square. For shopping, head to the area around the Piazza di Spagna. Here you'll find all the famous stores. Valencia is one of the most beautiful cities in Spain. It's considered the 3rd most important city in this country and the 2nd most important along the Spanish Mediterranean coast after Barcelona. It's a lively city which has a very long and rich history, and it's grown rapidly along these last years. Nowadays, it's fast becoming an alternative to Barcelona and Madrid. Florence, so many lookers in such a good-looking city. Naked like Michelangelo's David, or rugged up in the latest winter fashion by their own world-class designers. Florentines and their city never fail to impress. Already in need of oxygen after admiring their art, visitors are mesmerised by the vision of locals at aperitivo time, effortlessly strutting, flirting and evidently enjoying life. At times it seems nothing much has changed since the days of the Medici.
There are some very, very romantic stop-offs on this trip, so if you fancy treating your special one to a lovely cruise and stay, then here are the details. And yet again, a terrific price. It's 10 nights from, and that's per person, reference RCI 438. It's the Italian Mediterranean all-inclusive stay and cruise on board the 4-star Adventure of the Seas, travelling between June and October, and this particular one departs on the 19th of September, and it's based on 2 people sharing an inside stateroom. It's also got an all-inclusive hotel stay included in the price. You can add nights on the Costa del Sol from £39 per person per night. That's on top of what you've already got. And there are regional airports available at a supplement. Now, we can tailor-make this holiday especially for you. You just tell us what you want and we'll try our very best to organise it for you. RCI 438, the from price, terrific value for money and a very romantic trip. Our next trip is the one everyone talks about, a Caribbean cruise. It just sounds so exotic, doesn't it? And for good reason. Now, before we check out where you'll be visiting, let's see the characteristics of the Vision class of ship.
Our distinctive Vision class of ships is the most travelled in the nation of Why Not? From Alaska to Hawaii, to the Med and Asia, these ships are designed to take your curiosity just about anywhere. But chances are you'll be just as content to keep it on board. Marvel at the ingenuity of our stunning 6-storey Centrum, an open-air atrium with shopping and more. Enjoy an afternoon by the pool in the adults-only solarium, complete with retractable roof. When the sun goes down, take in a nightly Broadway-style show at the spectacular main theatre. Kids will be equally thrilled by the Adventure Ocean Youth Programme, with bungee trampolines, multiple pools, rock climbing walls and miniature golf courses on select ships. Choose from a wide variety of destinations and mind-expanding activities that make a visit to the nation of Why Not truly memorable. The enchantment of the seas, the grandeur of the seas, the legend of the seas, the rhapsody of the seas, the splendour of the seas, and the vision of the seas. No matter which of our Vision class ships you choose to sail on, your journey starts the minute you step on board.
Royal Caribbean ships really are fantastic vessels for cruising, and the destinations on this next offer are equally stunning. You can get your steel drums out because this is where you could be visiting if you book a trip on the Caribbean Calypso.
You join your ship at the Port Everglades Cruise Terminal in Fort Lauderdale and then spend your first 2 days cruising over to the Caribbean. Your first stop will be Tortola on the British Virgin Islands, and this is followed by Phillipsburg on St Martin, St John's on Antigua, Roseau on Dominica and Basse-Terre on St Kitts. A further 2 days at sea follow before arriving back at Fort Lauderdale, where you leave your ship. Divided between 2 countries for over 350 years now, St Martin is harmoniously shared by the French and the Dutch. The island has 2 distinctive flavours, with the quiet, sophisticated French north and lively, vibrant Dutch south. Shopping is one of the big attractions on St Martin. The island's completely duty-free status and the absence of any red tape for importing goods guarantees great bargains for cosmetics, jewellery, liquors, cigars, electronics and much more. Most cruise ship visitors enjoy a stroll up and down Front Street in Phillipsburg, where a huge number of stores boast competitive prices. The capital of the French side, Marigot, has some very elegant shopping, with original boutiques offering the sophisticated styles of Parisian designers.
Scheduled flights and a night in a hotel on the beach to refresh and get in the mood before you get on board. That's travelling in style. And if you want, you can extend your trip with a hotel stay after you return to port, whether it's in Miami or Orlando. Well, that's for you to decide. Here's what it'll cost. Yet again, another terrific price. And bear in mind, this is for 12 nights. It's the from price and it's per person. The Caribbean Calypso 4-star Vision of the Seas. November to April 2013. This particular departure is on the 22nd of November. And it's based on 2 people sharing an inside stateroom. Now let's have a look at some important detail. The alternative itinerary available, well, just give us a call and we'll tell you a little bit more about that. You'll be visiting Barbados, Grenada and Aruba. And there we go, another terrific price. It is a from price, it is per person. The reference number is RCI 138. It is a terrific holiday. For anybody that's never been to the Caribbean, oh, prepare yourself to be amazed. Okay, time to move on now. Next up is another long-haul cracker, this time to Canada on a Radiance class of ship. Now, before we see the map, let's check out the facilities you can expect on board.
Where else can you watch dolphins while travelling in a lift? At Royal Caribbean, we built the Radiance class to let the sights of the sea be the star. Whether you sail on board the brilliance of the seas, the jewel of the seas, the radiance of the seas, or the serenade of the seas, each has soaring wide-open spaces and more balconies and glass than you could ever imagine. And each of the ships in the Radiance class has a uniquely themed adults-only solarium with indoor pool and lush tropical foliage. But while you may be content to watch the scenery go by, there's plenty to do when you turn your attention inward. The whole family can play a round or 2 of mini golf, or try your hand at pool on the only self-leveling billiard tables at sea. What if a pool table could level itself? On our Radiance class of ships, there are some questions you'll never have to ask again.
There's nowhere in the world better for adventure than Canada's great outdoors. And that's exactly what's on offer with this trip. See for yourself.
Your cruise starts in Quebec City, the capital of French-speaking Canada. You then cruise over to Gaspé in Canada, followed by Charlottetown, Sydney and Halifax on Nova Scotia, and then St John. It's then over to Bal Harbour and Portland on Maine before heading back to Cape Liberty, where you leave your ship. It's worth spending a few days in Quebec City before your cruise, as the French flavour still echoes off the walls, in the language, the cuisine and the architecture. Walk the cobblestone alleyways past stone houses, churches and cafes and admire abandoned military fortifications that at one time helped to hold invading forces at bay.
Now, this incredible trip is during fall, so you can expect to see the most stunning colours in the landscape. Plus, finishing in Cape Liberty means adding on stays in New York is easy. Just ask when you call. Or if you feel really adventurous, then why not book an Amtrak train to Boston, one of the most picturesque places to take in autumn scenery. And here's the cost. Well, yet again, a terrific price for what would be a fantastic holiday. It's 12 nights from and it's per person. Reference RCI 238. It's the Canadian Adventure 4-star Brilliance of the Seas. And for this particular price, it's departing on the 22nd of October for this particular trip. And I guarantee that it's based on 2 people sharing an inside stateroom, and I guarantee you won't be disappointed. You can overnight in Quebec. You can add extra nights in New York from £99 per person per night. And you can also add 3 nights in Toronto from £199 per person. You can also upgrade to a balcony stateroom from £99 per person. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, it is the absolute perfect time to see the fall. RCI 238. Time for just one more offer in this globe-trotting Royal Caribbean special, and we've saved an absolute cracker for last. Transatlantic voyages are steeped in history. Stepping on board in Southampton and stepping off in Florida is just such a liberating experience. And instead of stuffy, cramped planes, you get to stretch out, pig out, and work out on the Freedom class of ship. Here's more.
Meet our Freedom class. Whether you choose the freedom of the seas, the independence of the seas, or the liberty of the seas, these ships offer the most spectacular, innovative features on the ocean. For starters, learn to surf on the Flow Rider, the first ever surf simulator at sea. Or hone your skills in our full-size Everlast boxing ring. And for young and old alike, explore the colourful H2O Zone water park with interactive fountains, geysers and a cascading waterfall. And if you're up for doing nothing at all, relax in the solarium's adults-only cantilevered whirlpools, extending 12 feet beyond the sides of the ship. When it comes to dining, the Freedom class is all about, well, freedom. With more choices than you ever imagined at sea. Of course, you can always eat in our spectacular 3-story dining room. Or if you wish, enjoy a meal at one of our specialty restaurants, such as Portofino Italian Restaurant or Chops Grill. To stay in touch with those back on land, the Freedom class features extensive Wi-Fi capabilities, and mobile phone connectivity is also available. And every stateroom features state-of-the-art flat-screen TVs to keep you entertained while you're relaxing. The Freedom class ships aren't just ships. They're masterpieces of architecture at sea, giving you the freedom to say, why not, to more activity or non-activity than anywhere back on land.
Now, this November departure of this trip means it'll be getting warmer and brighter by the day. And here's the day-by-day schedule.
You join your ship in Southampton and spend the first 2 days of your cruise at sea. Your first stop is Lisbon, the capital of Portugal. Another day at sea follows before arriving at Ponta Delgada in the Azores. You then spend 6 days at sea before arriving at Nassau in the Bahamas, and then Fort Lauderdale, where you leave your ship.
Now, this is a wonderful voyage for people who like sea days. Salt in the air and the engines at full speed. Plus, you can easily add on a stay in Fort Lauderdale or other Florida destinations for when you arrive. Now, I told you we saved a cracker for last. Well, I meant it, and here's why. Look at that for what is, I think, an absolute unbelievable price for 14 nights away. It's a from price and it's per person. It's the Independence Transatlantic 4-star Independence of the Seas, reference RCI 438. It's departing on the 22nd of November 2012, and it's based on 2 people sharing an inside stateroom. You can add nights in Fort Lauderdale from £39 per person per night. You can add a week in Florida from £99 per person. All this from £46 per night. Terrific value. You can also add 11 nights Caribbean cruise from £749 per person. It includes various stays such as St. Kitts and St. Martin. Not to be missed. Well, what an epic show. We've offered you cruises all around the world at incredible prices. To book any of the deals that we've shown you, simply pick up the phone and give us a call on the local rate number at the bottom left of your screen. You can then speak to one of our specially trained cruise consultants in our UK call centre, who will be happy to answer any of your questions. Calls are free from a BT landline, but other networks may charge and mobiles will be considerably higher. Alternatively, log on to cruisefirst.tv for all of the offers that we have in this programme from all of the cruise lines that we work with. And don't forget, we are fully bonded members of Atoll and ABTA, so your money is safe in our hands. Watch out for more cruise offers here on Sky Channel 251 and 252 throughout the day. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye for now.